lob it to Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens.
Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Now Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria!
Here's Warner. Here comes a headed jam. Counted for two.
Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off.
And it's saved! What a game.
Snap to the left. That is gone.
Lob for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Counted. And a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go nuts. And why not?
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3, and this is going to be the loser side of the gold bracket. Corpus Christi King moments ago fell to Gregory Portland in straight sets. Port Lavaca Calhoun falling to Tolosa Midway in straight sets in game 1 earlier today. So these two will play for a de facto third place. And we're going to get started here with the serve from Rosie Orta. And you can give King the first point. Port Lavaca answers with a point of their own. So 1-1 here early on. Here's Savannah Lane with the serve. Set up on the outside. But that was Miranda Lopez with the outside hit. And here's Lillian McCoy with the serve. Serve receive, Orta pops it up and over. They set up a Lopez again, and Lopez sends it over. Orta receives. There's the setup from the libero and sent over by Lucy. Here's Pimentel, controlled on the back row. And nice play from the libero for King, Harley Guerra. The outside, and nice play there. That's Morgan Gray, and the outside hit for the spike and the kill. And Port Lavaca ties it up at 2. And Orta on the outside. They set it up. Here's Lopez. And that was controlled by Grantland. Nice play there on the front of the net. That's Nate Cullum. Gives King back the lead. And that's Leia Lucy, ties it up for Port Lavaca. Early going here, back and forth. Here's a serve from Emma Strakos. Here's a setup on the outside, Orta. Controlled by King. And that was Foster on the attack. Controlled on the back row. That's Raylan Luna. And this one sent up and over by Morgan Gray. A little bit too much on it. And King takes the lead there as that return sails out past the end line there. And Harley Guerra That was Libby Foster on the attack there, and not going to be able to be returned here by Calhoun. Here's Guerra on the serve. Set it up, here's Orta. And gets it up over a couple of King defenders there. Over Danae Cullum and Kyler Ross. So Morgan Gray here on the serve, and Gray going to come up with the ace. That one hit in the vicinity of Kyler Ross and Miranda Lopez. We can't control it, so Lopez goes down for the dig. Here's Cullum, but Nevaeh Rangel was there to make that defensive play, and here's Calhoun's Orta. Couldn't time it right. There on that outside portion of the net. And on the attack there was Savannah Lane, but couldn't capitalize there on the center net opportunity, and Mustangs with a couple of points here in a row, and that's Danae Cullum on the serve, and this one going to go out of play. And it's going to result in a point for Port Lavaca. It's a 1-point game, 7-6. King in front, and here's Nevaeh Rangel on the serve. Controlled on the back row, and here's Lillian McCoy. Nice play there by Emma Strakos. And they're on the center net, and King winning that exchange there. And they now lead by 2. Set up here, there's Orta, and nice effort there from Lopez. They're on the outside. Mia Salazar tracking that down, and on the attack there was Savannah Lane, who sends it over and out. So Madison Pimentel on the serve, and not going to be returned as Salazar couldn't get it over, and she smacks it out of bounds, and it's a 4-point lead for King. Orta sets it up for Cameron Kessler. And Rosie Orta on to serve for Calhoun. Controlled here by King, and here's Lopez. Sends it way back past the back row and out of play. And down to 2. Here's a setup on the outside for Jones. And the Sandys control. They set it up. Here's McCoy. Couldn't get all of it there. They set it up. Cross again for Lopez, and Lopez able to get a hand on it. Tap it over and sent back. And Pimentel makes the effort. Just couldn't quite get to it. And the Sandys now down by just 1. On to serve here, Rosie Orta on the jump serve. Pimentel receives. Here's Lopez. And Orta. Off the bump there from solid side. Orta tried to track it down, just could not, and gets there a little bit late. Went low with it, but it's going to be point for the Mustangs as Gabriella Jones with the serve. Orta sets it up in the middle net there for Kessler, and it's going to be a whistle. And point awarded over to King, and King leads by 3 once again. Orta sets up Lucy. They're going to set up McCoy in the center net, and McCoy right to the libero. Carrie Grantland, who saw that ball come in like a missile, and King with a little bit of a spurt there. They come up with a couple of unanswered points, and we're going to take a break as King leads Calhoun 13-9 here in the first set.
Partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services.
We are Portisville, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And coming out of that timeout, the Sandys pick up a point here. And it's 13-10. And it's Savannah Lane out here. Serving. Set up on the outside for Galarza. There's Orta, gets a hand on it. Lucy sends it over. Here's the setup. On the outside, here's Lopez. Lane controls. There's Lucy again. Galarza gets a hand on it. Set up here. Pimentel sends it over. And out of play. And it's going to be a point over for Port Lavaca. And there's Lillian McCoy in the middle of the net there, and she's had herself a pretty solid tournament on day one, and even made a few plays in the opening round loss here of this gold bracket tournament to Toloso Midway, and she's looked pretty strong. Here she is on the service line for Corpus Christi King. Orta sends it up one-handed, and the trailing Kessler comes over and keeps it in play, but the whistle is going to give King another point, and they lead 15-11. And here's a serve, trying to stay alive, and Leia Lucy keeps it alive and sends it over. And here's Galarza, sends it to the back row. Nice play there by Luna for Port Lavaca. And here's Lopez. Grandland sets it up. Kessler sends it over. They set up Lopez, does King, and Lopez, and there's Orta making a nice play, and she keeps it alive, but Morgan Gray unable to return it and sends it into the net, and it's a 5-point lead for Corpus Christi King. Nice play here on the outside by Kessler, and there's a whistle. McCoy on to serve. Orta sets it up for Gray. Controlled by King. Here's Lopez on the outside. Orta gets a hand on it. And sends it out of play off to the left. And it's a 17-11 lead as Port Lavaca trails King now. 17-11, and Lillian McCoy on the line. McCoy sends a serve over. It's received by the Sandys. Here's a setup for Gray. Pimentel on the back row attack. Orta setting up Kessler. And Kessler capitalizes and picks up the kill. It's a 5-point game, 17-12, and the Sandys getting ready to serve, and Carey Grantland at the service line. Here's Lopez on the outside. Can't get it over. Kissed the net a little bit. But it's going to be another point over for the Sandys, and the lead's now 4. And Carey Grantland was on the serve, and this ball falls the way of Port Lavaca, and the lead's now 3 as Grantland heads back to the service line. Put this one in play. Here's a serve from Grantland. Serve received over by Guerra. And a nice play there from Leia Lucy, and just kind of caught King off guard there as she is able to get it over the net and kind of just rolls to that far right-hand corner of the court where there's nobody. And an ace here makes it a 1-point game, so we're going to get a timeout as Calhoun, with all the momentum right now, leading King 17-16, as it was a 6-point game a while ago, whittled down to just 1 now, with a 5-0 run here by Port Lavaca Calhoun. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And here we go, out of the timeout, King able to put up a point. And this one sent out of play, so what was the Sandy run turns into a timeout and a couple of points for King on the other side of it, and it's 19-16. And here's an ace for Miranda Lopez, and the lead back up to 4. And quick timeout for the Sandys, who saw all their momentum just disappear in a matter of moments as they trail by 4. Timeout on the floor. And we'll keep you right here. So 16-17, 5 straight points by the Sandys. And King takes a timeout, trying to get recentered. And they come out and they do just that. 3 straight points as they lead 20-16. Lopez with the serve. Grantland sends it over, and Lopez is there to receive it. Here's the setup for Foster. Guerra sends it over. Orta sets up Lucy, and Lucy on that outside comes up with the kill. And Emma Strakos on to serve. Here's Orta. Grantland sets up Rosie Orta. There's Gray. Guerra gets a piece of it. Sets it up for Foster. And still in play, Lopez two-hands it over to the back row. Here's the setup. Rosie Horta with the attack. Controlled on the back row. And there's Foster, a little bit too much on it. Goes out of play. Here's Emma Strakos on to serve. Guerra. Here's Horta. Foster controls it. And Horta on the net there, just relentless there, but King comes out on top there. And Horta connects that time. Pretty strong around the net is Rosie Horta. Saw it there a couple of times where didn't give up on the play. She was able to get the points, and here's Horta once again. Here's the setup. Goes awry there. And King picks up the point, and here's Danae Cullum on to serve. Nice play there, Nevaeh Rangel for the kill. Makes it a 2-point game. A little bit of a back and forth here in this first set. And what is a de facto third place game for the gold bracket. And nice play there, double kill, but ball goes out of play. It looked like Calhoun's Cameron Kessler was going to get credited with the block and the point, but the ball, I believe, went off a Calhoun player. And it's a 23-20 advantage here for King as Madison Pimentel puts it in play. Grantland and Horta track it down. Emma Strakos able to put it in play, and there's McCoy at the net. Sends it right into the net. Here's a serve from Rosie Horta. There's McCoy on the net. There's Guerra. They set up Lopez and back right at her from Leah Lucy, making a good defensive play, but there's Lopez over to Grantland. Horta setting up lane. Guerra. Pimentel sends it over. It's controlled on the back row by Calhoun. Horta sets up in the middle of the net for Kessler. Still alive. Pimentel into the net there. And Port Lavaca picks up another point. It's a 1-point game. There's Rosie Horta on the serve. Set up McCoy in the net. And they're going to say it went out, and just barely went out. About another inch inside. And so 23-all here. Here's Horta. Gonna come up with the ace. And Port Lavaca point away here. Guerra sets up McCoy. McCoy puts it over, but there's Orta. Grantland. Lucy sends it over. Guerra's there. Here's Lopez on the outside. And Calhoun's going to pick up the victory here. And Port Lavaca Calhoun wins 25-23. And back and forth. And the Sandys trailed for a good part of that first set, but they come out on top, finish strong, and they lead 25. They won 25-23 and lead 1-0. Headed to set number 2. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live.
Texans, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Hi everyone, it's that time again. It's time to register your child for school. There are 3 simple steps. Step 1, call McAllen ISD, 687-MISD. Step number 2, let us help you choose the right school for your child. With over 30 options in the city, we're bound to find the perfect match and fit for your child. Step 3, get ready for the first day of school. Classes begin August 26th. Remember, you can live anywhere and attend our schools. And even if you're already registered somewhere else, it's never too late to join the McAllen ISD family.
We are Santa Rosa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Real Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
We are Eddie Burkella, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
We are La Villa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
And he throws it down. See you later, touchdown.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Starting set number 2 between Corpus Christi King and Port Lavaca Calhoun. Port Lavaca Calhoun winning the first 25-23, and fast start here for Corpus Christi King as Gabriella Jones going to get credited with the kill there, and Madison Pimentel. On the serve and right off the hands of Pimentel, and there's Harley Guerra making the effort. But the ball goes out of play. All lined up here at 1. Nice outside attack there by the Sandys. And it's 2-1. Here's Savannah Lane on the serve. Here's Lopez at the net, getting met by Cameron Kessler and Leia Lucy. And here's Gabriella Jones on the serve. And point gonna go over to King. And Gabriella Jones on the serve once again for the Lady Mustangs. Controlled here by Port Lavaca. On the outside, here's Morgan Gray into the net. And King leads 5-3. Here's McCoy on the center net, sends it over. The outside, setting up Lopez. Lopez to the back row. It's controlled. Grantland pops it up. And it's sent over by Rosie Horta. Here's a setup for McCoy. And McCoy with the kill. And we're getting right here with the scoreboard at the gymnasium. It is 6-2. There's a setup. There's Lucy. Sends it to the back row, and that's Danae Cullum. And Gabriella Jones unable to get control of it. And Carrie Grantland and there's Lucy, Leia Lucy, sends it right to the libero, Harley Guerra. And she was ill prepared for it there as it goes off her and out of play. Here's McCoy, sends it over, controlled on the back row. Here's the setup for Gray, still alive. Set up Lucy on the other side. There's Guerra. They set up McCoy, and McCoy right off to the libero Grantland, and Lillian McCoy continuing to make plays here for King. And McCoy with the serve out of play. And Lopez delivers the attack but out of play. King wanted some contact there, but won't get it, and it's a 1-point game. Strakos keeps it alive, sent over by Rangel. They set up Lopez, does King, and King and gets the point there from Lopez. A nice play there on the net, but goes out of play, and it's going to be a Port Lavaca point. Morgan Gray. Here's the jump serve. Lopez controls it. They set up on the outside for Libby Foster. Grantland sets up for Orta. Strako sets up Orta. Orta sends it over, and a couple of King Mustangs had a chance at it. Harley Guerra and Miranda Lopez, and Port Lavaca ties it up. It's 8-all. Morgan Gray sends it over. And Orta returns. Able to pick up the point. Orta having a good match here so far. Guerra to the back row. It's controlled by the Sandys. Here's Rosie Orta right there on the net, and a couple of nice plays back-to-back by Rosie Orta, and she's playing well and gives Port Lavaca the lead 10-8 after King started off leading 6-2. And there's Foster, gets it over, but Strakos sends it cross court where Grantland tried to make the play but could not. It goes out of bounds, and King picks up the point, and now it's their serve. Harley Guerra with serve. Savannah Lane controls it. Here's the setup there for Jones. Here's Orta. And she sees a couple of King defenders right in the face. That's Libby Foster and Danae Cullum, but Orta picking up the points there. Angel with the serve. Here's Guerra, the libero, sends it over and off a couple of Sandys there. Emma Strakos and Mia Salasada in and around the area for the Sandys, but the ball went off one or both of them there, and allowing King to pick up the point. And here's Danae Cullum on to serve for Corpus Christi King. Strakos sets up Orta, controlled by Lopez here by King. Grantland sends it over. Lopez controls it. They set up McCoy there. They tried, but the front row for Calhoun standing up strong there, and it's going to be Rosie Orta up to serve for Port Lavaca Calhoun. Here's McCoy on the center net, controlled by the Sandys. And King getting back a point there. Here's Pimentel with the service error, hits it out of play, and it's going to be Port Lavaca point and their serve. As Savannah Lane comes to the service line for the Sandys, puts it in play, serve received. They set up McCoy, and McCoy with the spike in the kill sends it right towards Carrie Grantland. And Grantland unable to control it as it just rifled right towards her. Good effort there by Gabriella Jones, but Morgan Gray being able to make the play and pick up the point there for Port Lavaca. And here's Grantland with her team leading 14-12. And there's McCoy sending it right to Orta, and Orta makes a save, but Grantland comes over and just cannot get to it. She was in the vicinity, but McCoy there. Heck of a play. She's been solid on the net. And McCoy sends it over, and here's Morgan Gray. sends it out of play, and we're tied here at 14 all. Calhoun winning the opening set 25-23. Here's Lopez on the outside and gives King back the lead. Miranda Lopez on the outside hit for the spike in the kill, and timeout Sandys as King's rolling along now, leading 15-14. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be back.
See the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? First pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
We are Rio Grande City and you're watching Real Sports Live. And you're watching Real Sports Live.
Hi.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. King comes out of the timeout, puts up a point. They now lead by 2. Here's Lillian McCoy with the serve. And she's going to pick up the ace. As Raylyn Luna went low and couldn't control it. And it's a 3-point lead for Corpus Christi King. And Lucy with the outside hit for the spike and the kill. Leia Lucy picks up a point for Port Lavaca here. Here's Lopez. Sandys control it. Here's Lopez, two-hands it, and right back at them from Nevaeh Rangel. And Rangel with a nice play there on the net defensively and able to pick up the point on the other side. Here's Emma Strakos on the serve. And Galarza sends it over for King. Here's Horta. Nice play there on the outside, able to put it just out of the reach of Harley Guerra. About a half-second late reacting, might have got there, but Horta in good position to make that play, and we're going to get a ace here from Emma Strakos, and it's a 17-18 Sandy lead. And 4 straight points for the Sandys. And here's Lopez. Here's a setup for Horta. Pimentel with the bump. Here's a setup for Lopez. And Lopez, nice play there, sends it off of Morgan Gray. And Lopez is going to tie things up and head to the service line. 18 all here. Things tightening up down the stretch. Sandy's trying to close out here in straight sets. Gray on the outside, no. Galarza. Picks up the points there, and King in the lead now, 18-19. And here's Lopez with the serve. Horta receives it. They set it up. Here's Horta back the other way, and Horta comes up with the points there. And she makes a nice move to the outside and sends it off a couple of King defenders, and it's a 19-19 game. Can Port Lavaca come up and finish? Or will King force a third set? And Lopez coming across and can't quite get to it, made the effort, and Port Lavaca now leads by 1. It's 20-19. And Morgan Gray on to serve. Here's the jump serve. Here's the setup. A nice play on the net, and it's going to be Nevada on Hell. Nice play there. And Port Lavaca leads by 2, and they are on the verge here, and we'll see how King can come out of this timeout. And timeouts in this tournament have been big. We've seen teams come out and streak towards the end and come on late. Seen a couple of comebacks here in the last couple of days on our broadcast. But King right now wanting to talk about is they need this set to force a third. If not, they're going to go home with an 0-2 mark here today. And Sandys will finish off in third place. Both these teams fell in the openers. Sandys to Toloso Midway, and here's an ace here from Morgan Gray, and it's 22-19. Sandys losing to Toloso Midway. Gregory Portland defeating King. Those two are going to be in the Gold Bracket Championship, and these two teams here playing for third place. And Port Lavaca coming out of that timeout, continuing their hot streak. They lead by 4. And here's Gray. And Horta sends it right over to Lopez. And here's the setup. Nice double block there from King. And there's Horta. Nice play made there by Natalie Garcia. They send it over Guerra. There's Grantland. Here's the set. And Galarza with the play there in the center of the net. And it's 23-20. Can Calhoun finish it off, or can the Mustangs put together a little run here? Here's Harley Guerra. And into the net there was Danae Cullum. Looked like she hesitated between going for the set or just trying to sneak it over the net there, and she tried the net and just couldn't get it over. Nice play there by Lopez to play the serve. Here's the setup. Here's Horta. And Horta with the finishing touches there. And Rosie Horta and Calhoun in straight sets win 25-20 in set number 2. They won set number 1 25-23, and the Port Lavaca Calhoun Sandys finishing off with the victory here. And they'll finish in third place. And we have the championship game coming up here for first place on the winner's side of the bracket. Toloso Midway, Gregory Portland coming up next. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. We're Real Sports Live. We'll be back.